This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 25 is also brought to you by Silver State Health, Pahrum's exclusive pediatric care clinic. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It's Thursday, March 11th.
Well, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and Nevada Highway Patrol are investigating an accident there on Highway 95 at mile marker 90 around the Beatty area. Nevada Highway Patrol is saying that there was some traffic being diverted around the crash. The injuries are unknown at this time. This involves an SUV and a fifth-wheel trailer, which you can see from these photos, completely destroyed. And of course, that accident didn't involve any other vehicles. They are investigating the cause of that at this time.
And the Board of County Commissioners did a bit of policy fine-tuning before approving COVID relief funding for small businesses here in Nye County.
Discussion and deliberation on the Nye County COVID Relief Fund continued at the March 2nd Board of County Commissioners meeting as the policy for the program was finalized. The fund is being created with money remaining from the CARES Act provided by the federal government. Nye County has authorized the $1.9 million that went unused from the fund to continue to provide assistance to small businesses that were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The program may cover costs that were incurred after the declaration of emergency was declared in the state of Nevada on March 16, 2020. Entities that would be able to apply for assistance are small businesses, public rent and mortgage assistance, public assistance by nonprofits, and direct utility assistance. Samantha Kramer, Nye County Grants Administrator, presented the policy as set so far and asked for approval on some changes. Kramer suggested allowing a person that requests rent or mortgage assistance because the cost increase of medical prescriptions. There was discussion among the board members about how this need would be verified. District Attorney Chris Arabia said that pre-existing conditions that may be exacerbated by COVID could increase costs. Arabia also said that verifying this information could be intrusive for the applicant, but may also be necessary as a safeguard against fraud. The district attorney agreed to review the legalities of verifying medical prescription information while avoiding HIPAA issues and the possibility for misrepresentations. The program policies were accepted by the commissioners with programs to go in place on March 17th. For a complete copy of the policy, its qualifications, and how to apply, you can go to nyecounty.net and search Nye County COVID Relief Fund Policy.
Well, News 25 is following several cases here in our district court. We're going to go to Missy Kohler for more information.
Attorneys for Nicholas Von Alst were in court on March 8th. Von Alst was involved in an attempted robbery on June 24, 2020, when he and Kyle Bickerstaff allegedly attempted to rob a juvenile of a gun. The robbery attempt turned into a physical fight that resulted in the juvenile shooting Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff succumbed to his injuries, and the juvenile was not charged in the shooting as it was determined to be self-defense. Von Alst was facing a felony murder charge because the crime resulted in a death. Jason Ernst, attorney for Von Alst, filed a writ of habeas corpus in the case, stating that Von Alst should not face felony murder charges as he was an accomplice in the crime and not the person that fired the gun. After considering the evidence, Judge Lane reduced the charge from felony murder to attempted armed robbery. Ernst stated that there has been talk with the state and they are currently in negotiations. Von Alst's trial is currently set for March 23rd. Ashley Nguyen was due in court this week. Attorneys for Nguyen say this is a post-conviction matter. The evidentiary hearing is challenging the validity of her conviction, citing defective counsel. Nguyen was found guilty in 2019 for DUI causing death and DUI causing substantial bodily injury when, after a night of drinking, she ran a stop sign and crashed into another car. The crash killed Christine Weir, and her fiancé, Brian Schwanweir, was also severely injured. Nguyen was sentenced to 16 to 40 years. When attorneys appeared in court for Nguyen's hearing on February 22nd, they requested a continuance to March 8th so that Nguyen could appear via closed-circuit television from jail. The court was unable to arrange the teleconference, so once again, the date has been postponed. Expect to see attorneys in court for Nguyen on March 22nd at 11 a.m. And Eric Wychunas appeared for arraignment in Judge Wonker's courtroom on February 26. Judge Wonker was unable to arraign Wychunas because he tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine. Judge Wonker offered Wychunas one more opportunity to do right and rescheduled his arraignment for March 12th and placed him on random drug testing. But Wychunas was arrested again on March 6th after deputies responded to a call at the winery supermarket for a domestic in progress. Wychunas refused to cooperate with the investigation and began walking away after being instructed by law enforcement to stand in front of the patrol car. After continuously refusing to comply, the officer attempted to place him in wrist restraints. While trying to pull away, he struck the deputy in the face multiple times. He was placed under arrest at that time for resisting a public officer, battery on a protected person, and giving a false statement to obstruct a public officer. Prior to this, he was arrested on October 27, 2020 for a battery by a prisoner, battery on a protected person, and battery by a prisoner on parole and probation. He was arrested on October 24, 2020 for domestic battery and September 23, 2020 for giving a false statement to obstruct a public officer. His next appearance before Judge Wonker is tomorrow morning. I'm Missy Kohler, and that's been your court report.
Thanks so much, Missy. Well, the Sheriff's Office is getting grant money to help promote traffic safety here in Nye County.
The Office of Traffic Safety has awarded more than $16,000 to the Nye County Sheriff's Office. The grant money will help fund the Education versus Enforcement project. The Sheriff's Office uses that campaign to raise awareness and increase public education on traffic safety with a focus on safety belts, speed, and motorcycle safety. The Sheriff's Office says nearly every fatal crash in Nye County can be attributed to one of these three areas, and it hopes a greater focus on traffic safety and a more visible public safety campaign will help reduce fatalities, injuries, and crashes in our area.
All right, well, some retailers are having a bit of difficulty. We'll tell you which ones and where you might look for some sales in our BFB after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by P&P Property Management. Knowledge, experience, communication, and trust. Call Cynthia at 775-727-4444.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, Dick's Sporting Goods predicts a sales slip later this year, and Boeing is selling more jets.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Tapping our news, Dick's Sporting Goods warns that sales could slow down during 2021. The outdoor equipment retailer put out that warning after revealing an impressive end to 2020. Sales jumped 20% in the latest quarter, reaching $3.13 billion, well ahead of Wall Street analyst views. And Boeing's business is finally on the upswing. Boeing delivered 22 aircraft in February. That's up from 17 a year ago. The rollout of COVID vaccines lifted Boeing to positive net orders for the first time in 14 months as customers are becoming more confident in buying Boeing jets. Boeing also booked 82 new orders for the month of February and received more new orders and cancellations for the first time in 15 months.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Well, Children's Week at the Nevada Legislature is an opportunity to educate Nevadans on the leading causes of child death here in the state, excluding natural and undetermined deaths. In 2017, the four leading causes of child death here in the state were: number one, non-motor vehicle accidents such as asphyxia or suffocation and drowning; number two, homicide; number three, motor vehicle accidents; and number four, suicide. The state's executive committee to review the death of children works with the 6 regional child death review teams charged with reviewing child fatalities to identify trends, safety concerns, and areas of prevention. The primary goal of the committee is preventing child maltreatment and child deaths in Nevada, and this is achieved by improving the recommendations, including law, policy, and practice change, and bringing together community-level organizations and agencies to shed light on the factors that lead to a child's death. This year's priority areas include suicide prevention and safe sleep for babies. The notice of funding opportunity is set to be released the last week in April.
And doctors say most people can benefit from a routine that includes endurance training. In today's Medical Minute from Spring Mountain Medical, A doctor is explaining to us how physical activity can reduce the risk of many diseases.
This Medical Minute is brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical, healthcare the way you've always imagined it.
My name is Dr. Jacob Steckel, and I'm one of the chiropractors at Spring Mountain Medical. Today, I'd like to talk to you about endurance training, also known as cardio. Endurance training is one of the 4 types of exercise, along with strength, balance, and flexibility. Cardio includes any activities that increase your breathing and heart rate, such as walking, jogging, dancing, swimming, biking, and jumping rope. Endurance activities keeps your heart and lungs healthy and improves your overall fitness, making it easier to carry out everyday activities. Getting the recommended amount of activity can reduce the risk of many diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. The American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes per week, or 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week. If you're just starting out with exercise after being sedentary, don't rush it. It's important to set realistic goals based on your own health and abilities. Start out with 10 to 15 minutes at a time, then gradually build up the overall time. Men and women of all ages can benefit from endurance training, but get a doctor's okay before beginning, especially if you haven't exercised in a while or have any underlying health concerns. If your New Year's resolution includes having a healthier 2021, consider making endurance training a regular part of your week. At Spring Mountain Medical, the chiropractors and medical providers and staff are happy to help. Contact our office at 775-727-8900. I'm Dr. Jacob Steckel, and this has been a Medical Minute.
Thanks so much, Dr. Steckel. Well, Pets Are Worth Saving, better known as PAWS, is ready to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with a big adoption event this weekend. Tressa Wask says that there will be some great giveaways, and the event gives the public a chance to check out the dogs and cats that they have available for adoption.
PAWS is rescue and animal wellness. We try to help animals in the community with vet bills, getting spay and neuter. Spay and neuter is really important. Getting their puppies vaccinated. And then, of course, we rescue dogs out of the shelters that are deemed unadoptable, rehabilitate them, and get them ready for new homes.
The St. Patrick's Day adoption event is this Saturday from 10 to 2 at Thrifty Paws, located at 2031 Gamebird Road in Pahrump. And they'll be giving away some great prizes.
We've got a raffle going. We've got a couple oil change, and for the Roadhouse, some gift certificates.
Tressa says if you'd like to help, there are several ways to do so.
They can come on down to the store and volunteer or donate. You know, if they've got gift certificates or stuff like that, we can always use those for the raffle.
Yeah.
Get it, you know. There's a lot of things you can do to help. You know, my heroes are my volunteers. They're some of the greatest. They're just wonderful people. To volunteer, you just go down to Thrifty Paws, fill out an application or, you know, an interest form, and we'll put you right to work because we really, really need volunteers.
Like most nonprofits, PAWS relies on donations, and they're always seeking donations of household items to sell at their thrift store, Thrifty Paws.
The thrift store does help support us. Of course, donations help a lot too. Without donations, we're really struggling, and it's been a rough year. Household items, dog food, cat litter, anything like that always helps. It's always a big help. And of course, you know, monetary donations are a big help too.
If you can't make it out for this weekend's adoption event, you can find photos and videos of some of the pets available for adoption on their Facebook page at Pets Are Worth Saving. Lately, they've been able to place a lot of dogs in loving homes.
Actually, we're doing really good. Yeah. We went through a lot of little dogs last month.
Yeah.
Nobody wants big dogs anymore. Matthew, who has always been our big picture and video guy, is still coming in and doing pictures and videos. And last night he came in and he was doing one of little Batista, who's a new little guy.
Yeah.
Getting him out. Yes, and we try to post him every, so often to make sure people know.
Oh, those puppies are so cute.
It'd be so much fun.
Yes, but if you're also a feline lover like me, we have a special treat for you after the break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. Well, if your computer is giving you trouble and it's not doing what it used to do, we have some information for you in this week's Great Computer Deals. Our quick tutorial with Josh Osborne is going to indicate whether or not it's time for you to buy a new computer.
Hi, it's Josh with Pahrumps' own Great Computer Deals. Let's get right into it. It's time for another quick tutorial. How do I know it's time to buy a new computer? Well, here's one sign. You can no longer run the programs you want because your PC specs are not powerful enough. The first PC I ever bought, the salesman told me, "You'll never need anything larger than this." Well, unfortunately, that is never the case. All computers become inadequate at some point. If you're struggling to run the latest programs you use for office, financial, graphic design, music, or gaming, it's probably time to look into upgrading for probably way cheaper than you think. If you're in the market for an updated computer, come down to our store for some friendly advice and we can help you with your next step. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
Thanks so much, Josh. Well, a report released Monday by the Las Vegas Realtor shows local home prices hitting a new record high while sales are increasing and the housing supply keeps shrinking. The organization reported that the median price of existing single-family homes sold in Southern Nevada through its multiple listing service during February was $355,000. That breaks the all-time record set in November and tied in December of 2020 and again in January of 2021. February's median home price is up 12.3% from $316,000 during the same month last year.
Well, it's time to meet another loving pet available at one of our local shelters. For today's Save a Pet, Darby O'Donnell is joining us from the Cat House at Desert Haven Animal Society, where she's introducing us to Annie.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Annie. Annie is a 4-year-old female calico. She has beautiful coloring. It's almost like a tortoiseshell, where it's not quite like a normal calico where they have the lines of the smaller kind of like orange and beige and blacks. She actually has really big patches all over her back and on her head and her ears. So pretty. She has a very little sweet, kind of shy personality. She was originally brought to the shelter because her owner could not take care of her anymore because of allergy reasons. She did not have any history prior with being with cats, but she has actually been a free roaming cat in the cat room for a very long time now. She gets along super well with the other cats. So if you have other cats, she definitely can go and fit in. She has just a cute little shy personality. She's looking for her forever home, and she has beautiful green eyes. Just a reminder, Desert Haven Animal Society does offer free adoption fees for seniors over the age of 65. And military. So if you're a retired or active military or a senior, you get free adoption fees. So if you want to come and see Annie or any of her friends here in the cat room, please give them a call ahead of time to make an appointment. 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Just so you know, if you do adopt a cat from an animal shelter or a rescue, experts say that it can take up from 3 days to up to 2 weeks for a cat to get adjusted into the home. What you need to do when you adopt a cat, specifically, especially if you have dogs or other cats that they need to go and interact with, is first of all, you need to go and introduce them through a doorway so they can kind of sniff each other so they're in a safe zone. And number two, you need to have an area for them to go and retreat to. So you need to set up like their transportation kennel or some sort of bed area that's more in a little reclused area so that they can go there when they get overwhelmed or when they're feeling shy, because they need time to be able to feel comfortable in their home. Do not expect a cat to go to your home like a dog and go and feel automatically comforted and welcomed and everything like that. Cats are a little bit different. They need some time to adjust to a new environment. They need a little safe areas that they can go to when they feel overwhelmed or just need to be alone.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, look at that beautiful sky. The clouds are parting and the sunshine is bursting through. Let's take a look at whether or not more rain is in the forecast after this break.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. And what was that yesterday? Holy smokes, I know we were going to have some rain, but I didn't think we'd go hail and snow and the whole deal. Man, we're kind of stuck in the middle of it, but I think we've got some hope on the horizon. Let's take a look at the weather as we head up and down the state. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City checking in the mid-40s. Tonopah and Goldfield, there's our chill spots this afternoon, 34-degree high. Beatty, you're all the way up to 47. Amargosa in Las Vegas, low 50s. Out to Death Valley, 61 degrees for high, 46 for low. And here in the paradise of Pahrump, well, let's take a look. 50 degrees is our current temperature, and that is pretty much the high for today. It's as good as it got. Winds out of the west and northwest at 9 miles per hour. Humidity sticking with us pretty significantly as the sun rose this morning at 5:59 a.m. and it'll go to bed here in just a little bit, 5:48 p.m. We'll head for a low tonight of about 34 degrees. And that humidity picking up 57%. That can only mean one thing. Rain! No, look. Yes, there it is. 24% chance tomorrow. 9 mile per hour winds is what's predicted. And then Saturday, winds blowing out the clouds. We're going to have clear skies. Temperatures warming up about 10 degrees. And 10 degrees more on Sunday. How about that? We're going to get all the way up into the 70s by the end of the week. It'll be blustery this week. Little wind and little clouds, but basically a nice warming trend as we head up to about 18 degrees higher than what we're seeing currently, and that'll feel just great. So looking forward to the future, and there you go. Back to the desk. It's Unette and Deanna.
All right, thanks so much, John. And there's a party going on around here for Brad Francis, our birthday boy, and our very special birthday girl, Deanna O'Donnell.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you and you. Happy birthday, dear Mom and Brad. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Hey, you're 29. I'm 5. I mean, that's accurate.
Hey, I didn't even count that. I just
29.
She's in kindergarten now. I'll help you.
All right, they're 1 day apart, and you're 16, he's 17.
There you go.
Right, good night.
Good night.